everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today we're going to take a look at the difference between the Chanel No. 1 foundation and the new Touch. Now, the thing about the Les Beiges Touch is that a lot of you have asked me, like, well, is it really meant to be a concealer and not really an over the face foundation? I don't really think it's meant to be anything. I think it can be a concealer, it can be a spot concealer, or it can be all over the face, and that's the way Chanel presents it. So if you read through the description of the product, it basically says it can be an all-over veil or it can be a spot corrector. So because of the size and the brush that comes with it, I totally get how people are like, well, I'm just going to use it as a concealer and use the Teint as the all-over face, which you absolutely can do. There's nothing to say that you cannot do that. I like this better as an all-over face product than the Teint because it has a little bit more coverage. And I want something when I use these types of products that has, maybe sheer to light coverage, especially in the summer. But I do like that it has a little more coverage than the Teint. So you can use it any way you like. If you want to use it just as a concealer or a spot touch-up and use the Teint on your face or something else, you can absolutely use it that way. But today we're going to do one side of the face with the Touch and one side with the Chanel No. 1. I am pulling my hair back. My hair is actually still kind of damp. I did blow it out, like to dry it out a little bit to get the moisture out of it, but I still haven't done it. So it's, yeah, it's a little flyaway at the moment. Anyway, the only thing I have on my face is my brows. That's it. That's all. I'm going to use my Emile Cordon balm because that's really the only balm I use now. Because now I've been spoiled and nothing else seems quite as good, which is, yeah, I always seem to do that. Find the most expensive thing and love that. Okay, so let's talk about the Touch and the Chanel No. 1. So this is the Fond de Teint No. 1 Chanel foundation, and this is the Les Beiges Touch. They are both in the same shade, BR12. This is 0.7 ounces, and this one is 1 ounce. So it's a little bit more in it. This has a glass bottle. This is plastic. Yeah, plastic. They're both pumps. So the Chanel No. 1, they call it a revitalizing foundation. Illuminates, moisturizes, and protects. That's how they describe it. $70. A buildable foundation with a luminous finish enriched with red camellia oil and moisturizing ingredients. Softens skin, helps protect against environmental aggressors. Complexion appears plump and naturally more beautiful. Day after day, skin takes on a youthful glow. So that's the No. 1. And I will say, I really like that foundation. It is a light foundation, and in terms of coverage, I think you can build it a little bit, but I don't think it's super buildable by any means. All right, and let's take a look at the Complexion Touch. So they describe this as a water fresh complexion touch. They don't describe it as a foundation. First of its kind versatile makeup product infused with ultra concentrated micro droplets. Droplet pigments, that's what we talked about in my last video about Chanel. Medium coverage formula. I don't know if this is medium. Offers customizable application. Conceal specific areas, like I was saying, just, spot corrector, or apply all over for a flawless, incredibly natural looking finish. It's 60% water, lightweight gel texture, antioxidant rich ingredients, jasmine extract, tamarind extract. There you go. So let's take a look at how this actually works on the skin. First, I would say, I don't think either one of these is a medium. Oh, I forgot to tell you the price, $65. $65 for that one. So the Touch is more expensive because it's 7 ounces, 0.7 ounces, and it's $65. And the No. 1 is 1 ounce, and it's $70. So per ounce, it's more expensive. All right, so you're gonna put this on the back of your hand. The way that this works, if you didn't watch my other video, is you have to pump it out and then break up the droplets. If you don't break up the droplets, you don't get the color. You can do that on your face. There's nothing to say that you can't. I don't particularly like doing that. I like doing it on the back of my hand. It just works for me. But you can, I guess you could just put it right on your face and break up the droplets on your face if you don't want to use your hand or a palette or, yeah, something like that. Now, this is one pump. If you want more coverage to build it a little bit, you can. Not a lot, but a little bit. You can put more on, and I'll do that in a second. I want you to see what one pump looks like. One pump. You can just see, I mean, automatically, it gets rid of all the redness, evens out the skin tone, looks really nice. Really good skin-like finish. All right. Now we'll do the other side with the Chanel #1. And like I said, we'll try building it. So I'm not going to stop doing that, but let's do just one pump. And this one, because it is a liquid foundation, I tend to just sort of put it in areas where I want it, concentrating on kind of the areas in the middle of the face where most of my redness is and on my chin. I will also say that the #1 does have a little bit of scent. It's that red camellia scent. The touch, I don't really notice a scent. I'll go back and smell it again. But I don't really notice a smell with the touch. Or the tint, actually, come to think of it. Little errant hairs, because my hair is not dry. Not fully dry, anyway. I'm laughing because there's not that much of a difference. It's kind of what I thought. That's what I thought. When I wore it the other day, I was like, this reminds me of the Chanel #1 foundation, which I really like. Okay, Chanel #1. Touch. I can tell you right now, guys, I'm looking in a 10x mirror and I can't really see a difference. So let's try to build this up, both sides. Yeah, when I put it on the other day, I was like, wow, this reminds me of the #1 foundation. So, I mean, depending on, you know, what you wanted to do, you could use this new touch as like just the spot corrector and use the #1 if you already have it. I'm not saying it's not a good spot corrector. My issue though is if you're really using this as a spot corrector or a concealer, most of the time people, when they say that, they're trying to cover something that is stronger, like, you know, like under eye circles that are deep or pigmentation from the sun, that type of thing. And so I don't know how well this would cover it. I mean, you let me know what you think. I think it covers my redness really well. But I can still see imperfections in my skin. I think it looks really beautiful and really natural, but I do think it covers like a lot, but I don't think it covers everything. So if you really wanted to use this as a concealer, like under your eye, I think it works fine for me. I don't really have much discoloration under my eyes. I have lines. That's the lines and sometimes puffiness, but not discoloration. All right, so I think that looks fabulous. Let's try the #1 on the other side. See if we can build it up, just like we did with the touch. I'm using the same amount of product on both sides. Same brush, just cleaning the brush off in between. I'm just evening out the neck a little. Okay, guys. I really can't tell a difference. I think they're both buildable. I think you definitely could build to a light finish here and a light finish there. Maybe a light medium coverage-wise, but I certainly wouldn't call it medium. That's just me, but I think it certainly evened out my skin tone. It diffused everything. I think it looks beautiful. I think it looks shiny, gorgeous, dewy, all those things. I just don't see a difference in the 10x mirror anyway. I don't see a difference between the two sides, which is really interesting. And to be honest with you, what I thought when I put the foundation on the other day, I was like, this reminds me so much of the Chanel #1 finish, which is not a bad thing because I love the Chanel No. 1 finish. I think it's a great foundation. I wear it a lot. But the only thing I'd say right this minute, it's really close. I think the Touch looks a little more luminescent than the No. 1, but it's, I mean, that's being super nitpicky. Okay, so we're gonna let that sit for a minute. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna try the light peach that I didn't try in the other video. So warm pink, light peach. And the light peach shade is exactly what it describes itself. It's a light peach. If you didn't watch that other video, I did use the light pink and the warm pink in that, and I like them both. I think I could wear intense coral. That was the shade up. The two deep shades though, deep bronze I think it is, and deep something. Those are too deep for me. Like I've seen them and they're deep. Now the only thing I'd say is how they would be on my face. I don't know, because if you notice when I put on, this is the light peach. You see how light it is? There's not, in the two light shades, in the light peach and the light pink, they are only for people who want a lit from within, very light blush look. And frankly, I think you're gonna have to be pale. I mean, I don't think this would show up. I could be wrong. And I'd love to see, you know, everybody out there who's bought these shades, people who have a deeper skin tone, pretty much everyone than me. But, you know, I'd love to know if it worked for you. And if you bought the light peach or the light pink and you feel like it does have, you know, enough pigment. I'm putting on another layer. I think, personally, like this is beautiful for me. This is exactly what I would want. Because it's just, you know, it's light, it's super healthy looking. It looks like I went out in the sun and I just, you know, got a little bit of sun and I look good. And it does sink into the skin very easily. I'm just using my fingers to kind of warm up, like just placement a little bit. Yeah, it sinks into the skin. It looks really nice on. It wears really well on me. It didn't dissipate, like it didn't disappear. I had it on the picture that I posted on Instagram for how many hours? It was like 6 or 7 hours actually at that point. So it definitely stays and I think it looks really nice. But as you can see, it's a lighter pigment and it's a water-based blush. So, you know, anything that's going to be like this, like a cream or water, is not going to have as much staying power as a powder on your skin. However, my skin is very dry and it actually works really well. It's sunk in, but it didn't disappear. So I really, really like these products. I would probably get the Intense Coral because I think that would work on me. The Deep Bronze and the other shade, let me pull it up so that I can tell you the shade names. They're all available online now. There was like a glitch for a while where they weren't. But it's Deep Apricot and Deep Bronze. The Deep Bronze I might be able to use almost as a bronzer. That I could see. The Deep Apricot, I don't think that would work. Maybe. I don't think it would work, but maybe. And the Intense Coral, I think I could wear the Intense Coral because I think once you put it on your skin, on your face, I think it does, you know, dissipate. It does lighten a little bit. So you're not going to have the intensity that you might see when you first break it up on your hand or a palette or whatever. So, yeah, I really like the products. I think they look beautiful. All the shades that I bought, the light pink, the light peach, and the warm pink are perfect for me, and I love them because this is kind of what I wear. I don't wear a ton of blush. If you're looking for the deeper shades, it's definitely the Deep Apricot or the Deep Bronze. And the Intense Coral, I think I am going to pick it up. I think I am going to buy another, I think I am going to buy the oversized bronzer in light. It doesn't do much to my skin, but I think I want it for the winter, actually. And I'm going to get another dry oil, which I have on my arms right now. I know you can't really tell. it's a really nice dry oil, and yeah, it makes my skin feel really nice. It sinks in immediately, and it leaves a nice, like a nice, I don't know, glimmer almost on my skin when I'm outside. So I think I am gonna just pick all those things up. I'm not usually one to be like, oh, I'm gonna get it all because I know things go bad. But these are limited edition items, and I think the powder, the oversized powder, I don't think that's gonna go bad. I've kept Chanel powders for years, so I think that'll be fine. And the dry oil should be okay. And this Les Beiges blush, I think I will actually work my way through these because you use more of it than you think. It's 0.5 fluid ounces, so there's actually not that much product in here. And every time you use it, you know, if you want like more of a flush like I did 2 pumps. So I think I would make my way through these as well. But yeah, so far guys, I'm really liking the Water Fresh blushes and the Touch. The Tint I still really like, and I wouldn't, you know, steer people away from getting it. They are starting to come back in stock in all the different shades. I think I would like a lighter shade in it than the one I have. But you know, I forget. I'm pretty sure that the one, like the one shade down from that made me look, just didn't look great. And so what I do love about the Touch is that there's so many more shades. That is actually very helpful. And I think it has more pigment. Okay, so now it's been on for a little while. The foundation and the Touch, because they're not calling it a foundation, they're calling it a complexion product. Guys, I have to say, I think the finishes are almost identical, at least on my skin. Now again, I'm 50, I have dry skin. It's not as dry in the winter. So, I mean, the summer, sorry. So this time of year, it's, you know, more towards normal. It looks, I can't tell a difference. And in the 10X mirror, I don't see a difference between the two sides. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.